Hi, Ian. Hi, Dada. How are you guys? I wanted to send you a good night video because I miss you both. And Ian, I know you're going to sleep soon. So I wanted to tell you a good night story. The story of Goodnight Gorilla. So here goes. One night, the night watchman said, "Good night, Gorilla." But the gorilla stole his keys. And he unlocked his cage, and he and Mouse, who grabbed a banana, snuck out of the cage to follow the night watchman. So the night watchman walked to the lion's cage and said, "Good night, lion." And the lion, who was chewing on his bone, watched the night watchman go by, and then saw the gorilla coming with a key and let him out of his cage. So the animals quietly followed the night watchman until he got to the giraffe's cage. No, the elephant's cage. So the night watchman said, "Good night, elephant." And the gorilla opened the elephant's cage. And then the same happened at the giraffe's cage too. Well, finally, the night watchman got to the armadillo's cage, and he loved that little baby armadillo, so he bent his head way down and he said, "Good night, my little armadillo. Good night, my little armadillo." And all the animals were watching. Oh, I forgot, the hyena got let out of his cage too, and he was laughing at the night watchman, like, because the night watchman loved the armadillo so much. And when the night watchman turned around and walked away, Gorilla opened the armadillo's cage and let him out too. And they all followed the night watchman home to his house, where he they followed him across the lawn, right up his stairs, through his living room, and right into his bedroom, where they all laid down and curled up on the floor to find a nice place to sleep and go night-night. All except for the gorilla and Mouse, however, who crawled right into bed with the night watchman and his wife. And the night watchman said, "Good night, honey." No, the mama said, "Good night, honey." And all the animals, as she turned out the light, all the animals said, "Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night." "Hey," said Mama, and she turned on the light. "What are you doing in my bed, gorilla?" she said. She shook her head and she saw all the other animals in her bedroom and said, "Come on, everybody. Get out of my house. I'm going to take you back to the zoo and put you to sleep." So Mama and the gorilla and the elephant and the hyena and the giraffe and the armadillo, everyone followed Mama all the way back to the zoo, and she put them all in their cages and said, "Good night." And she walked back home to her house. But what she didn't realize is the gorilla had stolen the keys again, and he and Mouse were following her home. So she went back home and climbed into her bed, and she said, "Good night, honey." And she lay down and snuggled up in her bed, and Gorilla and Mouse snuck under the covers and climbed up into their bed with them and fell asleep right between Mama and Dada. And Monkey ate his banana and said, "Good night, Gorilla." But the gorilla didn't say anything because he was already fast asleep. Night, my beautiful boy. I love you, Ian. I'm waking up very, very early in the morning tomorrow so I can come home and see you early in the morning. And see you too, Dada, because I miss both of my men very much. And I love you so much. And I want you to get lammy and passy and go to night, go to sleep.